Today we're diving into 3I Atlas, World War III, and alien disclosure. Hi, I'm Marissa. If you haven't been to the channel before, I'm an intuitive channeler, a cosmic guide, and a friend. And lately, I have been receiving messages about 3I Atlas, and my guides have been wanting me to share. So I've compiled kind of the downloads that have come through about 3I Atlas and World War III Alien Disclosure. And I'm going to share what has come through and also tap in to the Galactic Council that I work with specifically, which is the Arcturian Light Council of 6, and see if they have anything that they want to share, or if they can guide me to a being that wants to share about 3I Atlas and its journey. So this is very big news for the collective, for humanity, that there might be aliens. There are aliens, and some of them are actually already on planet. You might be an alien. I know I am a starseed alien that is taking human form. So this concept is becoming more and more accepted by humanity, and that's what these events are doing. Their purpose is to really help our consciousness expand and grow into the remembrance that we are not alone in the universe. So I want to say that first and foremost, 3I Atlas really is this monumental shift that we are taking in consciousness. It brings this elevated awareness to us, this remembrance to us that we are a part of the galaxy. And being a part of the galaxy means interacting with other types of beings that we have been hid from for a very long time. World War III, too, it's already happening. People are like, when's it going to occur? It's happening right now. World War III is occurring on an energetic level, and we see the physical signs of this by the wars that are occurring on planet right now. The dark energies on the planet are turning on one another because they each find themselves greedier and hoarding the resources. So we have these different groups across the globe that are these darker energies, the shadow government, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them. They really are holding these resources, and they can see that the collapse is occurring. So they're being a little greedy. They're being kind of like dragons. They're hoarding their wealth. They're hoarding their land, and that is causing a lot of war. The tariffs are kind of into that, the US tariff. That is definitely a very big thing that is occurring. Same with like the oil and the resources. Like, we're seeing these groups basically say like, no, you can't have this anymore. Or no, we're gonna make it harder for your stuff to get here. And it's this closing off of these certain different groups because they can see that that they're failing, that they are losing the game. And so there's other claims of wars, and even, just the wars that we're already seeing. This is through the stabs at other countries who are trying to fight back, even the citizens. So trying to quiet down humans that are trying to stand up for their right. This is also kind of what we're seeing at protests, ICE. There's a lot of suppression trying to occur through these governments, through these groups, on the human voice, because they don't know what else to do. Word is getting out that, billionaires shouldn't exist. Word is getting out that this is all a corrupt system. Word is getting out. And so they're just trying to suppress in every area that they can. And this is World War III, guys. Like, we're living it. Because on an energetic level too, there's a lot of battling that is happening right now out in the universe, and you might be an astral warrior going out in your dreamscape and fighting. Let me know in the comments if you've been having weird dreams, if you've been having like super heavy exhaustion when you wake up, if you have been feeling weird pains in your body. It's because you're taking a double shift. It's because you, when you go to sleep, are out there fighting energetically for the light, or, you know, some of you, the dark. Depends on which side you're on. And it's really not sides, it's just energetic frequency, truly. So to dive more into 3i Atlas, I had a dream recently and I woke up and was like, whoa, what the, what? And I basically saw that there are dark parties across the world, and I felt that there were two, and I was in a place like a utopian kind of Las Vegas situation, and they were brainwashing people through the TVs. So they were sending out frequencies through this device I'm filming on my phone and the TVs, and they were basically, people were turning into zombies, and not taking action in their own lives, not taking action, and they were basically like trapped in front of these devices. And so I went, and there was like I went to Source, basically, who was a lion in the dream. If you've ever seen Narnia, thought that was funny. But I was basically like, what's going on? You told me this wasn't going to happen. And Source was like, this is the point, Marissa. And so we have this group here that's trapping and thinking that they have the upper level in the US. And then there is, I saw all of these spaceships and these spacecrafts gathering at the North Pole, but in Russia, like the most northern point of Russia that's closest to the pole was all of these other spacecrafts. And they were gearing up basically to go to war with the US Dark Party. And I was like, telling Source, I was like, you told me this wasn't happen, this war is going to happen, like what's going on, blah, 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 blah. And Source basically said, like, that's the point. And the point is for them basically to go up against each other rather than one of them go up against the humans. Like, they're focusing on each other more than they are focusing on controlling us because of their greed. And so they are actually going to kill off one another, which is really cool. But we might see some nasty energies from that. And what else is happening up at the North Pole / Russia area? I meditated on this dream because I was like, okay, this seems deeper than just, you know, a casual dream that I usually have. And so I meditated on it, and 3i Atlas is in communication with the North Pole spacecraft. And a lot of them are actually, a deeper understanding that I got, a lot of them are actually gathering to this area on the planet to be taken off planet. So 3i Atlas has come, and its mission basically is to help diffuse the war that could come between the two multiple dark parties on the planet. And so I'm trying to gather my notes and gather what's in my head from meditating and channeling. So a lot of ETs, extraterrestrial beings, and galactic beings that are on Earth are gathering to the poles right now, but specifically this place in Russia. And they are basically like camping out here and waiting for the arrival of 3i Atlas. And some of them are like gathering to fight, but some of them are also gathering to communicate with 3i Atlas. And 3i Atlas is coming in, like I said, to diffuse the matter, to diffuse this war, and to take a lot of these beings that have been suppressing humanity off planet, which is like great news, because these beings see the downfall. They're at an end. They are put up with, what's going on. They don't want to be here anymore. They see the unfolding that is occurring, which is humans reclaiming their autonomy, humans reclaiming their rights, solutions, humans reclaiming the earth. And we aren't quite there yet, but we are at a specific breaking point. And 2026, we're going to see the human voice gets louder. The human voice, with a lot of these beings being taken off planet, it's kind of their surrender, right? They're just surrendering, and their homies are coming to pick them up. They're saying, I don't want any more. And so 3i Atlas has a lot of good beings on it. And that's why I think some people, I don't really watch the news. I don't tune into channelers so this information is just coming from my unbiased channel. I don't watch anything. I don't take in any information. However, I was told by a friend that they saw a channeler and they were talking how 3i Atlas brings peace and raises consciousness. And I would have to agree. They are bringing peace to the planet, because they are, a lot of, imagine this, they're almost taking their homies to go to rehab and be like, okay, you see what you've done, let's bring you back, and we're going to fix you. We're going to tell you how it really is, because you've been living in a false, you've created and been living in the false matrix that you created. And so it's not humans that are going to be boarding 3i Atlas. Well, there might be some. It's mostly going to be galactic beings that are communicating with. And that kind of brings me to the next point, where this wasn't necessarily meant to be the first full-on disclosure experience for the US and the world. I don't know why I just said the US, but that's what came out, so I'm going to trust that. For the world. This wasn't supposed to be the first experience with alien communication on a collective scale. However, the energetic purpose of 3i Atlas was, again, to expand our consciousness and to start thinking in those ways. It's broken certain walls within our being, within our brains, that allow us to think and consider galactic communication, to consider, oh, there is something out there that can communicate with us, to consider there are giant spaceships flying around in our sky. So it's that preparation. I still don't think humanity on a mass scale is quite ready for that disclosure experience. But this is the stepping stone, right? This is a stepping stone towards that. This is a stepping stone that gets us to that actual big groundbreaking disclosure moment. And this experience with 3i Atlas will spark more individuals' own private, maybe, disclosure experiences. So on an individual level, people are having experiences, whether you're meditating and you see a giant insectoid being come to you in your meditation, or maybe you're dreaming and you are boarding spaceships, you're talking with galactic beings, or you're healing inner trauma and then you start to see visuals and your psychic gifts come online. Whatever it is, individual disclosure is happening, and this event is sparking that. It's sparking the possibility for a larger event to occur. And as we get closer to collective disclosure, we will start to see more and more events like this. And this is very groundbreaking on a scientific level, and it's helping science to redirect their focus, really. It's a course correction that is helping people to redirect their focus. And I think that's really beautiful, because instead of spending millions and millions of dollars on war and killing each other, why don't we invest that money into space research or into medical research, into these other areas? So it's a redirection of funds and a redirection of focus for people. And like I said, 2026 is going to be a very big year for humanity. It's going to be a very big shift for humanity. And 2026 holds this beautiful, potent energy of the human voice. The human voice will be very, very prominent. And I believe, is 2026 the year of 1? Are we in a year 9 right now? I think we are. If you don't know numerology, year 9 we're seeing is right now 2025. Is, sorry, what year are we in? You know, I time travel a lot. So yes, so we're in a year 9 right now, which is a lot of death. It is a lot of endings. It's kind of that precipice moment where the teapot is screaming at us, okay? It's screaming at us, and we are trying to figure out what to do, how to navigate, and a lot of things are just shutting offline right now. We see this everywhere with, you know, the pullback in government funding, the snaps going away. A lot of blackouts are happening on a small scale level. So if you've heard that theory of there's going to be a giant blackout, that's already occurring. It's happening. It's not one giant event. Again, in my opinion, it's a bunch of small blackouts that are occurring to help us see where there are holes in how our society is structured and how our culture is creating and moving. So you could consider that the national parks being shut down a blackout. You could see all of the government jobs that aren't getting paid right now. That's a blackout. Even the cell phone and like bank shutdowns, those are blackouts. So that's already occurring, and that is leading us to raise our voice. And then next year is the year 1. So we're gonna start seeing this new beginning of where we're going. This next 9-year cycle is starting, and the human voice will be very prominent in that cycle. Thank the Lord, right? Because shit's gotta change. Shit's gotta change. So I want to touch too on energies are really ramping up on the planet. If you haven't felt, you've probably felt. Energies are really ramping up on the planet, which means time is moving quicker, and timelines are therefore also collapsing and moving quickly. And you might have you're in a current reality, and then it switches, and you're living a different reality, and then it switches, and we're being thrown through the ringer right now because of this time warping that's occurring. And this is kind of that, it's part of that birth canal, okay? So death is birth. They are one in the same. They do hold somewhat different frequencies, but the experience is the same. You go through a wormhole when you die, and you go through a wormhole or a birth canal when you are born. And so this time warping that we're experiencing is part of that time warp between the channel between death and rebirth, and that's why timelines are moving so fast, and the darker energies aren't really able to take a hold at this time because people are changing too quickly. Timelines are shifting too quickly. There is no one right way or wrong way, or I know people for the past few years have been talking about the two major timelines. Earth is splitting. I don't think it's just two major timelines. I think there are thousands of timelines that are occurring. And while, yeah, there might be two like major collective ones, one of a higher frequency, one of a lower frequency, we are coming into our multi-dimensionality, which is helping us to realize that there are more timelines. We're not just living in one reality, we're actually living in multiple realities. And through our multi-dimensionality, it can be kind of like a toddler learning how to walk. We are like stumbling through all of these timeline shifts because time is moving so quickly, and that's why you feel like you might be a different person every day, every week. You're learning how to walk with this multidimensionality and anchor that in so you can use it to your benefit. And one way that you can use it to your benefit is truly if you stay in peace frequency, if you try to just tune out the noise. Don't necessarily bypass it, just accept, okay, this is what's going on in the world. Rather than showing up angry, showing up fearful, showing up, with rage, sadness, worry, show up in peace. And this will help you to create a smoother transition into holding your multidimensionality. So peace is kind of like, I don't know if you've ever seen like a baby use one of those baby walkers when they're learning how to walk, and then it makes it easier for them to learn how to walk. Peace frequency is the baby walker, okay? Peace with frequency is what will help you to move smoothly, to navigate life more smoothly. And by holding peace, you are creating ripples out into the collective. So I know that it is scary right now, and I know some of you might not know how you're going to eat or put food on the table or anything. But if you can show up and at least maybe share one gratitude for the day that has been had, or one gratitude for what it is you do have in your life. If you are able to sit in peace, if you are financially stable, if you are not worried about a job, if you are not worried about money right now, and you're just choosing to tune into the news, I invite you to turn it off, take a break, and tune into peace. You have the power to shift the world around you by choosing, by participating in your life and choosing to feel peace, choosing to tune in to peace. Some of us do not have the privilege to create the space to even try to tune into peace, okay? So if you have that privilege, use it, and by tuning into peace, you create ripples around you. If you are holding peace frequency, it burns like a wildfire, just how fear burns like a wildfire. Peace can too, and if you can hold safety in your field and hold the vision of peace touching this earth, that will ripple out and literally change the frequencies that surround you, the frequencies of the people, things, places around you. So 3i Atlas is very exciting, yes, and I'll be excited to see what happens as it gets closer to planet. I think December is when it's going to be at its closest. Definitely share this video if you know people that are really into this stuff, into the aliens, into the just galactic knowings. Channeler information. Share this video, give it a big like, and subscribe to the channel to see more. And again, my name is Marissa. I am a remote viewer. I gather my information mostly from channeling galactic beings, channeling and remote viewing certain areas of the earth. A lot of information comes to me in my dreams as well. Like I said, I don't really listen to the news or updates on this stuff. It's all coming through my channel. So if anything resonated or you saw something that came from someone else, definitely comment below and let me know, because I would be very interested. I'm gonna make a separate video to put on this channel for just tuning in and seeing. This was the past like 2 weeks, this information, so we'll get a little recent update, so be sure to check that out as well, and keep living your beautiful life. Life is beautiful, and I hope you are in a place to feel that and see that, and if you have the privilege, tap into peace. Much love, and I will see you over in that channeled video. Bye for now.